Konnichiwa, and welcome to Tsuki no Ame, where we try Japanese snacks and treats. Today we have two treats to try from Sakura Co. So the first, this is our Osaka Mochi Castella. So it is a piece of Castella cake with a thin layer of mochi on top. And that's kind of all they're telling me. They're not giving me anything on flavor. I do think it's going to be really pretty fun. I'm really curious to try it. I love mochi. I've loved the Castella cakes we've gotten. I think this is going to be pretty good. I'm really excited. I'm also really looking forward to, this is our ginger Okoshi. So Okoshi, we've had a number of these on the channel before, and it's kind of a cousin of sorts to Rice Krispie treats because it's made from puffed rice. But instead of being bound together by melted marshmallow, they use like a straight up syrup, so it's a lot firmer, a lot crunchier. Um, They also tend to flavor them a lot more than I've seen of Rice Krispies, or just Rice Krispie treats. Um, this one in particular, just going off the picture, it looks like there's some sesame seeds involved. It's also been flavored with ginger. Uh, really excited about this. We've had some really good Okoshi. I think it's going to be tasty. I am really looking forward to both of these. So with all that in mind, let's get started. Itadakimasu! So starting with our Osaka Mochi Castella. Okay. Alright. So we have a beautiful scene of Osaka. And then they actually have special instructions for how to eat this without getting your hands dirty, which is basically you snap this. There's faces on the back. I'm not entirely sure what they're doing with that, but it's kind of fun. I will say the layer of mochi on here is a lot thicker than I was seeing in the picture in the culture guide. Okay, I'm really curious about this. I'm really excited. And I do appreciate that they thought about a way to make it easier to eat without getting your hands super messy. Okay, somebody who maybe knows more about this, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm tasting kinako. At least that's what I think it is. I like it a lot. I think it's really tasty. Um, Texturally, I do feel like it's a little weird because the mochi is very, very chewy. And then, of course, the cassava cake very, very soft. And I don't know, just having kind of like I've seen sweets with like kind of a gel layer on top, but mochi tries to hold together, and usually when they've done something like that, it's, such a soft gel that it falls apart and splits easily, kind of like frosting. So it's just a gel frosting as opposed to like a buttercream. And this definitely doesn't do that. Um, like I said, flavor-wise, really pretty good. I really enjoy it. Um, I just personally think the two textures for me don't work super well. I wouldn't want to eat, like, I'm definitely going to finish this. I'm going to enjoy finishing this. But I'm also thinking I'm kind of okay with the fact that they only sent me one, whereas some other treats we've gotten, I've wished that they'd sent me more, if that makes sense. So definitely fun, definitely worth trying. And again, if somebody knows more about this than me, please, please let me know down in the comments below about that flavor. Definitely worth your time, worth trying if you're curious about this sort of thing. But I also, I wouldn't order a ton of them. One is probably going to be enough. So moving on to our ginger Okoshi. Trying to think the best way to open this, and there's just gonna do this. There we go. Trying to avoid damaging the packaging on these treats is one of the hardest things on this episode. Or channel, sorry. You can smell the ginger. It's not super strong, but there's definitely that spice to it. As you can see, there are absolutely black sesame seeds in here. It is a little sticky to the touch, but nowhere near as sticky as a regular Rice Krispie, just because, again, it's made with that syrup as opposed to marshmallow. I'm really excited for this. Love it. I do. So it's really nice and crunchy. That is the thing with Okoshi because of the syrup that's used, it's very, very crunchy. But it is, again, that puffed rice is really satisfying. The ginger flavor in it, really nice, really strong, really got a good kick of spice to it. Um, I'm a big fan of ginger personally, so I love these. If you are not a fan of ginger, though, as I said before, we've tried a number of Okoshi on the channel, and they've pretty much texturally all been very, very similar to this. I think it is a little unusual that this one in particular does include those black sesame seeds. But for the most part, texturally, it's very typical of Okoshi. So if you're not somebody who enjoys ginger, I would recommend trying Okoshi just in general. I do think it is really tasty. I think it is worth your time. This one in particular, I'm a big fan of because, again, I do really love ginger. And if you're somebody who enjoys ginger, definitely worth your time. Has that really nice, good, solid ginger flavor, that sharp spiciness to it. I love it a lot. Kochi Sosama. So to recap, we tried our Osaka Mochi Castella, which for me personally, the textures didn't work super well together. I don't know, I feel like the mochi is just a little too chewy to go on top of such a delicate piece of cake. But it was still good and was still really fun to try. So if you're curious about it, would definitely recommend, but maybe only get, like the one piece. Yeah, really pretty good. I thought it was pretty tasty, flavor-wise, and certainly just kind of fun and beautiful. We also tried our ginger Okoshi, which really, really firm, really, really crunchy, really good, strong ginger flavor, has that sharp spiciness to it that I personally am a big fan of. If you're not fond of ginger, you might not like this particular Okoshi, but I would recommend trying Okoshi just kind of in general. And actually, Sakura, I wouldn't mind trying more flavors from this brand either, especially since, they are doing things like mixing in the sesame seeds. I really enjoy it. Would definitely like to try more. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. If you like my shirt, the link for that is down in the description below. And please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Johnny.